Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing out there? Hey, baby. Really, boo? Really?
Go ahead, man.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks again for joining us for another Facebook Live where we talk about relationships, we talk about marriage, dating, all that good stuff, and we got some social issues that we're gonna be discussing today as
Where's your
well.
phone?
Um, this right, this right here is my lovely wife, Aiyana.
Lovely, irritated wife, Aiyana. Because for those of you, maybe some of y'all ain't even around, because you said they said they was coming on at 9 o'clock. It's 9:11. 11 minutes after the fact. That is because of this one right here, Mr. Slowpoke.
Oh yeah, babe.
Yes, because of you. But that's all right because that's what being in a relationship is all about, isn't it? It's about stretching. It's about being flexible. Making room for people's imperfections. So, well, it's like 9 o'clock, and I'm like, boo, we supposed to be on at 9. What's up, Janelle? And hi, she gave the hearts. We supposed to be on at 9. And what did you say?
I don't know what I said. I said I'm ready.
You said, I gotta go to the bathroom. We already know what that means. Because the bathroom is your friend. And the toilet is your favorite place to be.
Correct.
And when you go there, you can't sit there for any less than like 5 or 10 minutes. What's going on? Hey, love you too. Love you too. Travis is back in the house. Travis, what's up?
Hey, Travis, my wife getting on me right now about the fact that I was here waiting on her for her to get ready.
Oh no, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, she kind of.
Don't tell lies.
I mean,
No, don't tell lies.
You just went out to the car.
No, you know what? I'm not even going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so look, y'all. We are coming to you today. We have some questions that we have pulled. And again, just for anybody who has sent in questions, we've been getting a lot more questions. What?
You're leaning on me so hard.
Why are you whispering?
Can you stop leaning on me so much?
Why can't I lean on you? Why are you? Okay. So anyway, for those of you who have sent in questions, whether you're watching us live right now or you see this later, I just want to say, and I always want to say this every now and then, I just want to pause and say thank you. I always, as I'm reading people's questions, oftentimes folks write them joints like it's a diary entry. So I feel, like it's a sacred transcript I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? And that I'm looking at and that I'm taking in. So I just say thank you to God. I say thank you to you. I say thank you for the opportunity to hear your stuff and to be let into that. So
everybody been having a good week so far?
Let's see.
Hold on, I asked the question.
Oh, I was reading. I saw.
I want to know. Is everybody out there having a good week? Y'all having a good week? Yes, no, maybe.
Let's see. What's today?
Today is Friday Eve.
Yeah. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Y'all having a good one?
I see somebody say, where do we submit questions?
Look, I know. That's what I was trying to answer. That's what Travis said. So questions can be submitted on reallovehelp.com. And you'll see where you can ask a question by going to the homepage. But the purpose of this also is that, sometimes folks want to do that anonymously. So people can do that by going to reallovehelp.com. Thank you for prompting us to answer that, Travis. And then you can also ask them right here. I mean, this is how we go on tonight, okay? So if you got some questions in terms of where we're going tonight, then, go ahead and flow with it. Throw it out there and we'll see what we see. Because you might get some feedback from some others who are watching right now. So, the first question for the evening is really about, and I won't pause.
Somebody said it's been a hard week, but it's getting better.
It's getting better. Look, let me tell you something. It's been it's been a hard week for me too. You know how sometimes you have a week or a couple days or even 1 hour and you realize some things that you ain't really know and it really just makes you mad. It makes you hurt yourself. I was walking around mad, wasn't I? Feelings hurt, upset. And so it's been rough. It's always good to have somebody to come back and connect with. And so I thank you, baby.
Oh, now you
for letting me dump on you as I do. Because I be wrapping him up, y'all. I be talking like, and so then I was thinking, and so then what you be saying? You be with me about 75% of the time, and then 25% of the time, he like, what you say again? I'm not.
I don't be like that.
Yeah,
I just buy.
Oh, you try to play it off. Try to
tell like I'm listening.
Yeah, he's not really listening. Okay, so we're gonna get to the questions, guys. All right, so the first one that I want to lift up, and we get this in all forms, in many different ways, and it is this: should you? And I'm kind of bottom lining this. Should you be there for someone who has a history of having issues and having an absentee father, and not having good relationships with his family? Should you be there for someone who is now doing the same thing in his relationship with me, and you're seeing the same patterns, but they're a good person. They have a good connection. They're able to talk about all kinds of things, and they're actually newlyweds. I think it was like 2 years they've been together, and she's realizing that, you know, he's not really able to connect in with her in the way that she feels he should be able to connect in with her. And that comes from his history. So she's aware of the history. You're aware of somebody's history. You know what's going on with them. And you're able to almost diagnose it. Oh, I can see what had happened to them. And I can see how they got like that. So is this somebody that I should really give my time and energy to? Now, I'm going to say this and weigh in on it like this before you step in, babe. I always find it very interesting that a lot of times folks give us these questions after they already jumped the broom. They're already on the other side. And so for anyone who's watching who's not on the other side of marriage, hey family, Kelly, if you're not on the other side, I want you to really pay attention to this, because you don't want to find yourself asking a question that leads you to say, should I be with them? Should I really be putting my time and energy into this marriage? Should I bounce because of some issue that they had? You need to make sure that you take the time to look at the intricacies of who you're dealing with, and that when you are not clear and you're not really sure, the best thing to do is just ask, what's up with that? 4 words. What's up with that? I noticed that you don't seem to call me back. I noticed that you seem agitated when I asked you this. I noticed whatever. What's up with that? Just ask. It ain't nothing super magical. You just have to ask and take the risk to say the things that you need to say. And a lot of times we're not willing to say what we want to say. So yeah, so you know, that's right. They're already married now. But here's the thing, getting back to the question, I won't wrap it up before we move on to the next one. And again, if you have a question, go ahead and throw it out there. Let us know and we will answer it right here, right now. She wants to know, basically, she's saying that he's not able to connect in. He's not around. He had an absentee dad, not good relationships with his family, so he didn't learn how to connect in well. So when you have someone who does not know how to connect in well, whether well, she's married, but whether you're dating or not, how do you figure out what's okay? Like, this is their norm, but maybe they'll change. They'll get better over time. They'll feel more comfortable and trust me over time. How do you know what to do? Right? And so that's the question here. And so here's the best case scenario, which often doesn't happen. But the best case scenario has to be arrived at some point. Okay. I want y'all to hear me. It has to be arrived at in some way at some point, and that is this. You have to be able to get to the point where you and that partner are able to get on one accord and understand together that, you know what, I'm a little, whoever the I'm is, in this case it's the husband, I have a hard time with connecting in. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm not used to it. I don't know how to do it. So when you want me to show affection, you want me to touch you, you want me to talk to you, you want me to hear you, whatever the case may be, I'm not always available to you, and sometimes I may not even know that I'm not available to you because I'm just doing me. In whatever way possible, you have to have that conversation. The only way for you to know whether or not this marriage is worth it, and I would hope that after only a couple of years of marriage, you're ready to put in some work before you're ready to roll out, because we'd be ready to roll out too quickly. Yeah. It's for you to actually put it on the table and say, man, I'm not getting something. I'm not getting something, and I need you to know, and I need you to understand that this is important to me. We have to be able to connect, because I don't want to be with you 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and we still ain't connected. And trust me, I'm sorry, I'm beating you up. Trust me, it's people out there who are in relationships who are like that. And that's a good question. We have a question, Janelle said, did they talk about their family life? That's a requirement. You got to talk about family life. You got to talk about what was it like for you growing up. Ask some questions. And if we're scared to ask the questions, or we're hesitant because we don't know how the person is going to react, that's an indicator right then and there that this person may be cool, it may be all right, but they're not quite ready for marriage for you. You're not quite ready for marriage with them because you ain't even comfortable asking the bare minimum questions.
So one of the things, so what this particular question makes me think about, it makes me ask, are they self-aware? And that's like really a prerequisite when it comes to any type of relationship growth or any evolution for an individual. Are you self-aware what those issues are, or whatever challenges you might? You want to say something,
Lawrence? Okay, sorry.
Really?
I just wanted to say hey. Let's see people coming on and be like, hey.
So are you self-aware and aware of, really whatever issues that you've had, what your historical experience has been, and how it's contributed and shaped you to be who you are today? If you are aware, the thing that I want people to really embrace and really sit with is the fact that if you're stuck, getting unstuck ain't easy. And so I think that people, have the tendency to think that, because you know what the issues are, that you'll be able to push past and push through almost instantaneously. When the reality is that just because you know what the issues are, sometimes you actually get more comfortable and cozy with those issues because that's your safe space. That's your safe zone. So essentially what you find yourself doing is, like I said, settling up with whatever those particular issues are, and just reinforcing that negative behavior or that bad behavior and not really engaging in the relationship fully because, again, that's what you're used to doing. That's what you know. That's what's familiar to you. So you get some element of comfort from it. So for the sister who's trying to really engage her husband, and she feels as though like his historical experiences led him to a place where he can't connect. The truth of the matter is that what you can do is what my wife just mentioned, continue to lift it up. But even in this space of being self-aware, it's important for you to know that you have to have patience. You got to have patience and also demonstrate some grace when it comes to him working through his process. Now, if he's self-aware and if he's willing to work, then I would say ride that thing out.
Okay, what about people who ain't willing to work?
So if you ain't willing to work, then I mean
do you just bounce though? Because everybody ain't always willing to work.
We spoke about this last week. So what does not willing to work look like? I mean, I ain't always willing to work.
Lord no.
But if it becomes a habitual pattern where I'm not willing to work on and on and on and on again, that right there is problematic. So what I would say is that if the tendency is for him to take a time out or pause for a minute in terms of him putting forth effort, but he gets back in the game and then shows some effort, that's something different. But if he's in a space where he's just chronically not trying to engage and not trying to be better, then that's a different story.
All right, very good. Okay. We're moving on to the question number 2. Can I get question number 2? Can I do it? Can I do it? All right. So I feel like this might be somewhat similar to one we did last week. So it may be, I don't know. But this question came in, and I want to give it some light. So basically, to wrap it up, because y'all be sending some long, detailed questions. So to kind of make this succinct, this husband has written in and said that he and his wife have had issues with having sex, and that his wife found out that she had a medical condition. She has a medical condition that makes sex painful. And so because of that, it has impacted their sex life, and over time it has gotten, what's up, Rhonda? Over time it's gotten worse and worse. So it used to be that, it was once a month, and that was not working for him. And so, yeah, look, somebody put the little face like, what? Yeah. So that was not working for him. They were able to, at a point, get to a place where they were able to do it I think once a week. Once or twice a week. Okay, I think once a week. Twice a week is good. First of all, let's pause for a minute. How many of you all think you know what a healthy sex life looks like in marriage? How many people think they know that? If you think you know that, what's up, Doreen? If you think you know that, then tell us, how many times do you think the average healthy, committed couple, married couple should be having sex a month? Come on, give me some numbers. Throw some numbers out there. Come on, I want to hear it. How many times do you think you should be having sex? All right, I got somebody said 3.75. Now, how you do 3? So you do 3 times. On that last time, you like, almost, but we're done. We're not going all the way. Somebody said 30. 30? My.
I like that answer.
You like that?
I do.
You ain't doing nothing else. You ain't got no job. You ain't got no kids.
7.5 times
you ain't watching no TV shows.
That's 7.25 per week. That's doable. That's definitely doable.
Oh, I'm thinking a week. I'm thinking 30 times a week. No, my bad. Okay, a month. He said 30. Okay, yeah. He corrected me. He said a month. Yes. Okay, somebody said when they both want it. Okay, so this person simplified it. She said when they both wanted, like when I wanted and when you wanted, that's when it goes down. Don't worry about the number of times, wherever that lands. Oh, is that the right answer? Somebody said 8 times a month, 2 times a week. Okay, so On average, this has been studied. Hey, what's up? I'm looking over on our other Will. We're looking over on two. We're looking at two screens. Okay, and so I just want to say hello to you over here, and those of you watching. But the number of times that it is healthy to have a relationship. Have relations. Have relations. Yeah, have relations. A month, and this has been studied and looked at. On average, it is 1 to 2 times a week. Usually once a week, which equals what? 4 times a month.
I don't like that number.
That is it. Why do you like that number?
4 times a month?
But you say that. I mean, you know those are the stats. So you tell me how you feel
about
it.
Like the
so I want to know what some of you guys think about this, and I want to hear from the women and from the men. 4 times a month having sex, in a committed, loving relationship. You're married. What have you? I mean, what? Wait a minute. Look at this. People are putting out the. Oh.
Can I ask you a question?
I mean, what's up with this? Is there something I want to know? Is there something wrong with that?
I want to ask you.
Lord, okay, he said he doesn't like it either.
Are you good with that?
Am I good with that?
Yeah.
Once a week?
Yeah.
So I will say this. I'm never going to just give you a straight yes or no. Sometimes in my life, I am good with that. That is fine. That is, I mean, anybody feel me? That is great. That's great. That's wonderful. And you know, other times in my life, because your sex life ebbs and flows, right? It ebbs and flows. It goes up and down, you know. Other times, that's just not going to work. It's not enough. Okay? It's not enough. And so I think that what's important to remember is that oftentimes people come to us and they're like, yeah, we only do it. Remember, we get this a lot. Yeah, we only do it like once a week. Dude, like 4 times a month, and really 3 times a month, 3 to 4 times a month is average. That's average with the active, healthy couple. Okay, and somebody said, "Oh my God, 4 times a month is awful." They said it's awful. And so what I want you to remember is this. We gave you that stat because we want you to have something to reference. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is that it's what works for the both of you. And so somebody gave the response and said, hey, like I see someone else said, it's situational. It's when we both are feeling it. But honestly, it can't just roll like that. It can't just roll like that, because if I have to feel it in order to do it, well, and I know some sisters out here who feeling me, you might not be getting it that much. Now you might be wondering, well, what's up with that? What do you mean by that? Oftentimes, if not most of the time, women, we must feel the feelings. We must feel emotionally connected. We want to be wooed. We talked about that woo last week, right? We got all that going on, and that leads us into the bedroom or under the sheets, right? And for men enter into that connected space by putting it on you. Like, let me touch you, let me feel you, and then that brings about those warm emotional feelings. So if I have to feel it all the time in order to go there, I might not get there, right? Because let me tell you something. 100% of the time, once we there, I'm like, Lord, I needed it. Thank you. It was a healing. It was so good to me, you know. But you can't really rely on wanting to feel it in order to do it, because if we just did what we want to do, half the time things that need to get done, like your husband, like your wife, just like, I don't make it sound, I'm about to say just like the dishes, but it ain't the same, but certain things just have to be done, and it shouldn't be a chore. But at the end of the day, back to the person's question, I digress. At the end of the day, what he said is that she's having pain. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm all.
Yeah, you went way.
I went way off. I'm sorry. I went way off. Somebody said preach. Somebody said 4 times a month. That's rough. All right, but you know what I want to say? I want to acknowledge this though, Kiara. I'm seeing the sisters out here. I ain't even heard them. The sisters are like, that's rough. Another sister over here, because we got 2 Facebook Lives going right now. It's like, what's up with that?
But look at this.
That's good.
So this is really important for us to acknowledge that the reality is that people might be having it 4 or less times per month. But just because it's happening 4 or less times per month, it's not indicative of the desire to have it more. And so what I'm seeing based off of the responses to these questions, or to this question, is that people want it. They might not be getting it as much, but people want it. And so one of the things that we work with couples to do is like to help bridge that gap, because you can best and believe that, guys, they want it too. But like my wife just mentioned, there's a certain strategy and technique that needs to be employed in order to get her where she needs to be willing to give it to you. And
I want somebody.
Yeah, all of that. And then
to walk up behind me.
and
I'm gonna sing that every time we do this. Yeah. And kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck. Yes, that's what I want.
So again, y'all, don't if you have not expressed the desire and the need to your partner and been specific about the things that he or she can do to get you to that space where you're actually ready and willing and wanting to be wooed and get in the bed and get busy with your person. With your partner, then there's a problem for you, because you got to make sure you're being vocal about what it is that you need. If you ain't expressing it, don't expect them to know.
Yeah, so that's in a nutshell. He said, not the woo again. We're gonna bring that woo out every time. You got to woo us. You got to woo us. That's what we like. I just said that to my husband earlier in the week. He was like, he said the same thing. What's up with that woo? Come on, man. Can you stop coming with the woo?
Stop coming with the woo.
All right, so next question. Do you have it, babe, or was it me?
Hold on. Did we even answer that question?
You just answered it.
No, she was saying about the medical condition. Okay. I lifted up something else.
My former co-worker, Jaquay. Okay, hi. So basically what he wants to know, and I think we did answer it, what he basically said is that they're having a hard time. She has pain when they have sex. It's not consistent, but because of that, she's basically just want to shut down and just really doesn't want to do it hardly at all now. That's basically the bottom line. And so what is he to do with that? And what I would basically offer up to you is this. You need to get some outside help. You need to get some extra help because there are physical conditions that can make sex painful for women. There are all kinds of conditions that can impact sex. And so with that,
sex is about more than just penetration too.
Sex is about let me say this. Then I want you to speak on that. So what you have to do is get some outside help so that you can find other ways to connect, not other outside of sex, still using sex, but there are ways to be able to have penetration happen. There are ways for those things to still get done, but you have to learn each other, and you have to be able to do that in a way that really pleases her. And so that means you have to study her. And sometimes we need a little help because it's just a little too funky. You don't really know how to go there and get it done. But just because there's a medical condition doesn't mean the sex life has to get shut down. No. I think that you may need some outside help, and it really starts with getting attuned to one another. And on that other piece you just about to say, sex is about more than
more than just penetration. I mean, some of the best experiences can happen without penetration. And so you can use your creative imagination. Say that.
I was just say that right there.
You can use your creative imagination and come up with ways to, please your partner and be pleased by your partner, but you ain't always gotta stick it in.
Mutual masturbation.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oral sex.
Yes. And people a lot of times don't. I'm amazed how people don't do that with one another. Like they think that masturbation is for before marriage. And some people have very strong beliefs about this thing. That we don't do that or that's wrong. Sometimes there are religious beliefs and that kind of thing. So if that's not for you, it's not for you. But I just want to say that when you get married and when you're in a committed relationship, sex doesn't have to get boring. Okay? You can still do a lot of what you did before. You just do it with one another. You understand? Do it in front of each other. Don't sleep on it. It will heal you and your relationship. Yeah. Well, did I just dad? All right. So, next question. Do you have the next question?
I don't.
You do not? Okay. I'm going to pull another one. Okay. So, keep this up. All right. So, this is going to help us to transition into what we wanted to talk. Can I be in the screen? What we wanted to talk to or speak to for a second. And so somebody wrote in and just said, can you please just say something on how it is that you deal, how it is that you struggle as a black woman, as a black man today. Can you pull that down some? I'm sorry, I'm micromanaging. Yeah. My bad. I'm sorry. How do you manage with all that we're dealing with out here? Make like a tennis shoe and just do it. I like that. Okay. But how do you manage out here living day to day, raising your family, doing the things that you're doing, and we're seeing all this senseless violence around us? How do you speak to your man? And what she was talking about is the fact that her husband is coming home and they're seeing news reports about, the latest folks, Crutcher and, and different folks who are being killed by the police and different things happening in our community, and she feels like there is a disconnect happening. There's a disconnect between her and her husband, and she doesn't really know how to connect in with him because he's not communicative. He's not talking to her, and she wants to make sure that she can be there for him. You know, how do I do this? And so how is it that she as a woman supports her man? And so I want us to take this question and transfer it outside of just thinking about what's happening right now. Okay, so we're talking about what's happening right now in terms of this painful trauma that Black folks are having to deal with by seeing people die, right? We go and can find it on TV. We can find it on the screen. We can go push play and see somebody get shot dead. And we think that that's normal. We actually look at it like, Dad, that's messed up, and keep going. But that's trauma. And we keep being re-traumatized with that mess. And so what I want you to do is transfer this to any kind of trauma that your partner or spouse goes through. Any kind of major issue that's really funky and really difficult for them, what do they do? And if it's your man, in this case of the person who wrote in, and they kind of shut down, can you give us some tips, my dear, on what is it that we ought to do to get through to you? What are we to do? Because we want to be there for you, but a lot of times, men folk ain't talking. Y'all go to the cave. When women have stress, we get sit down at the kitchen table, we take out some tea, and we get the rapping, yapping, talking. That's how we process and move through emotions. And the men, you all take it in, go to the cave, get quiet. So how do I break through to you when that happens?
The important thing is to really respect our space. You know, respect the space. It's almost as if, like, not that we need to request permission, but you know, those moments of solitude, of quietude, they allow us an opportunity to decompress and really clear our minds and you know, settle in with what our thoughts and what our emotions are. So when you press us, it just pushes us further away from actually being willing and able to confront whatever those feelings are. We resist. So we're resisting you. We're resisting the process of being exposed our own selves to whatever those feelings are, and to some degree, you know, we're not necessarily willing to express those to you. So I would say first and foremost, respect the desire for space. But once you respect the desire for space,
that's hard. Can I just say that's hard?
Yeah,
I know that that's important because I've had to learn that in my own marriage. Because y'all see how I be bumping my gums now. I have had to learn that I gotta shut up and give him space. But it is difficult because that's not how I'm like. But that means there's something wrong.
so when you say something wrong,
that's what it means for me. If I'm quiet and I'm talking to you, it's a problem. You already know something is deeply wrong. But that's not, you know, all. And meaning when I say something wrong, we already know there's something wrong. But there's something wrong between me and you. That's what it feels like. You're not talking to me. You're not letting me in. Why aren't you talking to me? I'm your woman. You know, and so that's how it feels oftentimes to women.
Which is a problem because essentially what that boils down to is personalization. So we've spoken about that before. It ain't got necessarily nothing to do with you, but what it is that you're personalizing my response to whatever outside experiences I'm having, and you're making the situation about you. Really, all I'm trying to do is process and deal and just negotiate and navigate the world the best that I can. And sometimes for me to tap out and to separate myself from you know, whatever I got going on is how I deal. It's my coping mechanism. It's my coping strategy. So, you know, when it comes to women supporting us in that process, again, I think that it's critical that you all respect the fact that we do need our space. It's not to say that we need our space indefinitely, but what it is to say is that when we request our space, whether it be verbal or nonverbal, respect that. And if you decide or if we give you permission to enter into the space, I'm not trying to treat you like an outsider, but if we give you permission to enter into the space, it should not be from a judgmental, condescending, critical, you know, point of view. It should be more so one where you're actually attempting to understand. And even if we don't have the words to express, sometimes just being present.
Is that the case a lot of times?
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is if you don't have the words to express whatever the emotions are that we're feeling. But sometimes just being present and recognizing that, you know, I got you or you got my back is enough. The fact that you know that we're going through something is enough. The fact that you're sitting beside me and riding with me, even if I can't express in its entirety what it is that I'm feeling, is enough. And so eventually, when we recognize that you're there for us, we'll crawl from out of our corner. Eventually, I mean, most men do. But again, it just requires a certain level of patience on your part to be with us in that process.
All right. That was
I know
good.
it's hard. Mm-hmm.
You say you know it's hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. But on that note, the last topic for the night, and then we're gonna be gone, y'all. The last one for the night, and this is really just pairs perfectly with what my husband has been talking about, and that is this. For those who don't know, we always let folks know. Somebody just said this is coming from a mature male. What if my man isn't as mature? Well, I mean, I don't know, but even if he's not as mature, at the end of the day, if he's asking for space, whether it be verbally or non-verbally, you should still give it to him. Doesn't matter if he's really as mature as you think he should be. I may be missing something. You can say some more on that, but at the end of the day, when someone needs space, they need space. But here's where I'm going to go with this, though. So walk with me, and then we're going to be done for this evening. Here's where I'm going to go. Any good, successful relationship, any good, strong, committed marriage cannot exist. It does not happen if people are not willing to go outside of their comfort zones. So if you have followed us any, you know that we've said that before, and we say it time and time again, because I know that I have been stretched beyond measure. I've got so many places that have caused me great discomfort in my marriage to this man. And so just because you have to be stretched, and in this instance, you got to let somebody have some space. In another instance, sometimes with my husband, I got to bring him out of his quiet space. You have to speak to me, brother. You got to talk to me. You said you were coming back to me and you haven't said anything. I need you to acknowledge what I'm talking about. And so whatever it is, you need to right now this evening, if you are watching, it is for a reason, it is on purpose. Think about where you can stretch in your relationship. And if you're not in a relationship, think about where you can stretch as a person. And so you can get ready for your next relationship. Because if you want to be comfortable, if you want to feel good all the time, and be with your boo, be booed up, feeling really nice and warm and cozy, and you don't expect to have some difficult demands of you, you don't expect for there to be some requirements of you that are going to stretch you and make you say, wait a minute, what? I didn't think we was going to do all of that. Then you're not going to be able to find a long-lasting relationship. You're not, because you're going to tap out every time it gets tough. Yeah. And you're going to have to just make a decision. Sometimes I'm going to have to open up and talk when I don't want to. Sometimes I'm going to have to learn to be quiet when I don't want to. Sometimes I'm going to have to learn how to defer to him, and maybe even use that word submit. Oh my. Sometimes I'm going to have to ask her to show me something and to lead me in this, even though I'm the man. I'm going to have to go ahead and give her her due, her props, because she got it going on in this area. Whatever it is, you've got to be willing to stretch beyond your comfort zone. Sometimes it's just simple things like, I'm not, somebody may say, I'm not super affectionate. I don't like doing all that touchy-feely stuff. I don't do that. I don't do PDAs. We talked about this last time a little bit. I don't do public displays of affection. Public displays of affection. But if your partner, the one you say you love, wants that from you, how can you stretch yourself? How can you stretch yourself? I want to be taken out. Have you heard that from your woman? I want you to take me out. I want you to plan the night. I want you to set it up. I want you to make it good. Man, where's that? We still ain't been nowhere. I'm still waiting to go out on a date. What's going on? But the brother said, I don't know how to do that, man. I don't do all that. She know that. But can you stretch yourself? So at the end of the day, your liberation in your relationship, that next level in your relationship, that place that you want to be at, that you see in other people and you say, oh, I want that. Don't even look at other people. Look at self and realize the only thing standing in the way is you. You are the barrier to your own happiness. If you want it, if you want to have that love, you got to give it. If you want to have that openness, you got to be open yourself. If you want there to be this closeness that can't nobody deny, you got to take the risk to get it. So that means that you have got to go to the other side of your comfort zone so that you can have it. That is it, y'all. That's all we do. I make this brother uncomfortable all day, every day.
Too damn much.
It's like, no, I'm just playing. But I do make you uncomfortable, don't I? I make you think I push you.
Yeah, you push me.
And this brother, he calls me out. And he does it in that smooth way, which really gets on my nerves, because I'm real kind of, talkative and so forth and exuberant. And here he goes, he'd be real cool with it. I noticed that, you seem to have a hard time with blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Whatever it is. You say, I'm not going to give a real example right now. Maybe next time we'll get some real examples from our relationship. Just give you a string of them so that you can get some insight onto some of the things that we've had to overcome and some of the things that we've had to deal with individually. But at the end of the day, y'all, I wouldn't want to be uncomfortable with nobody else but this brother right here. No one else but you. Oh, baby. Because you are my baby. You are my boo. And you're worth it. You've taught me, you've modeled for me, and for that I am forever and eternally grateful.
Thank you, baby.
Okay. Okay. So somebody over here said they're learning to be all right and to deal with not being in their comfort zone. That's all right. Sometimes you got to fake it until you make it. You understand? Fake it till you make it. Yeah. Don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you just can't get it wrong. That's what it's all about. All right, y'all. Until next time. Yes, this is every week. I saw that someone asked that. Is this every week? Every week on Thursday at 9. Somebody asked another question. We didn't want to miss anybody's question. Oh, okay. We see it. Hold on, sis. We see what you said you asked it, but I'm looking for it. Hold on. I don't see it. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, y'all. Hold on. We looking. Okay. I don't see your question, sis. Oh, wait a minute. My husband and I have been together 10 years. We have a 3-year-old daughter, and he's ready to have like 2 more. Oh, you trying to come on with us? You trying to come on to the Furious 5. Meanwhile, I'm terrified. I am a teacher. Oh, wait a minute. I'm trying to see the rest of your question. Lord have mercy. Why it's not letting me see it? Okay. I'm a teacher. And I enjoy my career. I'm nervous that having more children will make me spread myself too thin as a wife, a mother, a teacher. How do you balance career with a big family? Oh, wow, that's a good one. Okay, so I'll say this really quickly and then you can add to it, whatever. First of all, I wish I could give you a visual. I balance my career, my business, my family, everything. Kind of like, I wish I could show you what it look like. I got 1 foot up off the ground, something on my head, something over here on this hand, got something on my back. Can you get that visual where you just kind of juggling? Thank you, Kevin. It's very encouraging. Thank you. I'm glad it's encouraging to you. But my visual I'm trying to give you is that I'm juggling. I'm a professional juggler. And so there's a couple of things that I keep in mind as I juggle all of the things that I say that are important to me: my family, my children, my husband, my God, my goals, my life, where I'm trying to go. What I remember is that you can never, ever, and just remember this, y'all, this is a good one for life. You can never, ever have everything just like you want it. You can't be like that on the job, be just banging in the bedroom with your boo, doing it up, cooking all the good meals, there at all the teacher PTA meetings, and you know what I'm saying, out here doing it up, you at church doing all this stuff. I'm sorry, but you cannot do all of that 100% all the time. That's my point. So I understand that I'm not going to be hitting it all the time. So it doesn't mean that I don't go there and judge myself. It doesn't mean that, I don't feel funky sometimes because I feel like, oh my gosh, I have a 14-year-old, I have a 12-year-old, I have a 10-year-old, I have a 9-year-old, and I have a 7-month-old. And sometimes I go to sleep at night and I realize, whoa, I don't think I had too many words with my 9-year-old today. I don't recall actually having more than just a few words. And I feel bad. And I go in his room looking at him and, he's asleep. And I feel like, oh my gosh, I hope he's not feeling totally abandoned. Now that this little brother has come and pushed him to the side. At least that's probably how he feels. Mm-hmm. There are times where I feel like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, I'm more than a mommy. There's purpose to my life that beyond that. It extends beyond that. And I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose myself. And I start to feel down. And I was feeling like that the other day when I felt a little depressed. Mm-hmm. My husband was like, hey, it's going to be okay. You're moving. Yeah. At the end of the day, you just have to remember, and what I always try to remember is that I can't get everything 100% right. But that if I just surrender to my process, if I push myself and go back to what we talked about earlier, try to make sure that in some category of my life, I am outside of my comfort zone. Some category, whether it's me being a mommy, whether it's me being a therapist and a counselor, whether it's me in my career, whether it's me with my husband, whatever. In some way, I need to be uncomfortable. Some way. So find one thing, because when you're uncomfortable, that means you're growing. That means you're moving somewhere. You may not feel like it. It may not seem like it. But if you just remember that, then you will continue to be what God has called you to be. But here's what I'm going to say to you. You got 3 kids, sis, and you said, I don't know, I think I might lose myself. He wants 2 more. If you ain't feeling it in your spirit, if it ain't really in your heart, and you just really not sure, you need to think on that. Because it's a lot of responsibility. It's a whole lot. Yeah. It is a whole lot. And so, you know, that's a whole nother thing. I might have to do something on that, because this 5th one right here, well, you know, we're out of the new zone. But them early days, a sister was like, Lord, I know you gave me this beautiful baby, but I'm struggling. Well,
you know what, though?
I was, man.
I know you were. And
you was, too.
I was struggling, too, but let me speak on your struggle. I think that...
Oh, you going to speak on my struggle?
I'm going to speak on your struggle.
Okay.
From a man's perspective. I think that...
Anika, you feel me? Yes. Thank you. Somebody tell the truth. I ain't no perfect mommy walking around here. Oh, she got 5 kids. She doing... No, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
I be with a SC struggling sometimes. And sometimes it's a little more than sometimes, you know?
So,
but I know that's a part of the process.
I think that, and this may come off a bit judgmental.
Oh, you see how he informed me that this may come off a bit judgmental?
I think
Thank you for giving me a heads up.
But it's really coming from a space of love.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you do it.
It really is.
I don't know what you're about to say.
I think that...
you got people laughing.
Men do a good job at compartmentalizing. You know, we have 5 children. And I'm able to turn it on, turn it off.
Yes, you do.
Separate certain things, tell them to beat it right out the face. And you know, I'm able to tend to Aiyana. I'm able to tend to you.
Can y'all hear?
And I don't necessarily feel, you know, so overwhelmed.
You don't?
No, I don't feel like... I feel by no means do I feel anywhere near what you feel like. So what I want to say to you, baby, and this is for all the women out there, give up some of that stuff. Give up some of that stuff and stop walking around with this burden, with this heavy load, and feeling as if you got to carry it all on your shoulders, all on your back. You got a helpmate for a reason. You got a partner in life. You got somebody who loves you, who's there to support you, and who has your back. There's no need for you to carry that entire burden or that responsibility on your own. You know, I think that, yes, can't nobody do it like you do it. Can't nobody be a mommy like you're a mommy. And we as men, we don't want to. But the thing that we want you all to realize is that you ain't got to do it all by yourself.
This sounds really good.
You don't. There's been a number of times where I've told this sister right here to lay your ass down. Mm-hmm. Take a goddamn nap. I got this. And she's like, she's still up doing stuff. Like she just won't put it down. And I know it's a part of that mommy DNA that prevents her from, you know, just sitting her butt down and allowing somebody else to step up and you know, give you a break. But I think that women, you know, we love y'all dearly. Can't nobody do it like y'all. Y'all are the best. But sometimes, like, you gotta let it go. You know, just release that grip. And we got this picture in the kitchen that says, what is it? Successful moms. What is it, like, great moms have messy kitchens or something like that?
Messy kitchens, dirty ovens, and dirty floors or something.
Yeah.
I be thinking when your mom come over, she be looking at that thing like, what is the world coming to? Look, I bought that thing because I saw it in the store and I was like, I'm going to affirm myself. If I got a dirty floor and a messy oven, oh well, my kids are happy. They have happy kids though. It's more about a philosophy about what's important in life. Not having your clean floors all the time, but having a happy heart and happy children and a happy family. Thank you, baby.
I mean, I know you say it sounds good, but that's real talk. Like, you be stressed. A lot of y'all be out there stressed, and y'all don't need to be stressed.
It's a lot of stuff happening in our lives.
It's a lot of stuff happening, but
Rhonda,
again,
you said that's you. I get you.
Again, a part of it is about the fact that you're not sharing some of the stuff that you got going on in your life. And I know some of y'all would probably say, I've attempted to share, and he's dropped the ball. He hasn't done his part. That's a part of the process too. You drop it, you pick it up, you press on, you drop it again. Y'all have dropped the ball too. You know, but y'all get back on the bandwagon. Y'all just keep it moving. So again, give up on that stuff, y'all. Give it up. Give up some of it and
yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. But I receive that, and I feel like God is speaking really through you. I do. You sound like Joel Osteen. Do you really receive? Yeah, receive today. Yes. No. But I do receive that. I do receive it. We need to, and it is a control thing, Anika.
Y'all gotta loosen that grip.
Oh Lord, it is. You know, one of my, okay, y'all, we're supposed to be off this daggone live, but let me just say this last thing. One of my biggest fears in life, and you see, this is how I know it's something that I really have to work on, because things pass from generation to generation. Because I heard my mother say the same thing. We were in some type of something, and she said her biggest